All right, let's jump right in. Right now, whether you see it or not, there is a massive technological wave washing over everything. It's powerful, it's mostly invisible, and it's fundamentally reshaping every single part of our world all at the same time.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The way we grow our food, the way we shop for things, even the way a doctor diagnoses an illness. It's all changing, and it's changing fast. Now, you might think these are all separate, disconnected shifts, but they're not. There is a single, powerful force connecting them all. So the big question is, what's driving this whole revolution?
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big picture, this digital tsunami. Then we'll dig into its foundation, data. We'll look at the AI brain that makes sense of it all and see how that combo is remaking our daily experiences. Then we'll cover the hurdles in the way, and finally, what it all means for the future.
All right, first up, look, this isn't just about one industry getting a fancy tech upgrade. We're talking about a full-scale, top-to-bottom revolution that's happening across every single major sector, all at once. The key thing to get here is that this isn't about a single new app or some cool gadget. It's a fundamental, structural shift. Think of it like a layered cake of technology where each layer builds on the one before it. This is happening in banking, healthcare, retail, agriculture. Seriously, you name it. The very wiring of how these industries work is being ripped out and replaced. So let's talk about the bottom layer of that cake, the foundation. Because any revolution needs fuel, right? And in our world, that fuel is data. It's been called the new oil for a reason, and it's the absolute bedrock for this entire transformation.
So when people throw around the term big data, what do they actually mean? Well, a great way to think about it is with what they call the 3 V's. First, there's volume. We're just talking about a staggering, unbelievable amount of data. Then you have velocity, how fast it's all coming at us. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. And finally, variety. This isn't just neat little rows of numbers anymore. It's everything. Text, images, videos, sensor readings, the whole shebang.
And where is all this data coming from? Literally everywhere. Out in a farm field, you've got drones and soil sensors collecting terabytes of info. In a store, every single purchase you make is logged. The package you ordered online, it's being tracked every second of its journey. Even your own fitness tracker is creating a non-stop river of data about you.
And if you want proof that this is a big deal, just follow the money. The investment is staggering. Take just one piece of this puzzle. The cloud systems that manage supply chains, the tech that gets products from the factory to your house. That market alone is projected to be worth almost $72 billion by 2030. That is a massive global bet on a future that runs on data.
Okay, so we've got all this data, this new oil, but oil just sitting in a barrel is pretty useless, right? You need an engine to actually do something with it. And that's our next layer, artificial intelligence. AI is the engine. Or better yet, it's the brain that takes all that raw data and turns it into actual usable intelligence. Here's a powerful example, medical diagnosis. The old way, a doctor would look at your scans and rely on their personal training and experience. The new way, an AI can analyze millions of scans and patient records in an instant, spotting subtle patterns that the human eye might just miss. It's not about replacing the doctor, it's about giving them a superpower. And this AI brain is at work everywhere. In banking, it's the algorithm that flags the suspicious charge on your credit card the second it happens. In retail, AI is predicting what people are going to want to buy next month, which can cut supply chain errors in half. And it's even mastering our most complex games. An AI called AlphaZero taught itself chess from scratch, and in just a few hours, it was better than any human grandmaster in history. It's mind-blowing. But it's not all just logic and numbers. AI is starting to get creative. This technique is called style transfer. The AI basically learns the distinct artistic style of Monet, his colors, his brushstrokes, and then it applies that style to a completely different photograph. It's not just copying, it's understanding and recreating a complex aesthetic. It's pretty wild.
So we've got the data foundation, and we've got the AI brain. Now let's talk about the top layer, the part you can actually see and touch. How does this all come together to actually change our daily lives? This is where the revolution becomes tangible for you and me.
For example, think about your next hotel stay. In a smart hotel, you could control the lights and temperature just with your voice. The mirror might display the news and weather while you get ready. The system would already know you like the room a little cool because it remembered from your last visit. And if you need fresh towels, a small robot might just deliver them right to your door. Or what about shopping? The whole buy online, pick up in store model is a perfect example.
You order something on your phone, instantly, real-time data finds that item in a nearby store. You get a notification that it's ready, you walk in, grab your stuff, and leave. No checkout line. It feels so simple, but it's powered by an incredibly complex, deeply integrated system working perfectly behind the scenes. And if you peek behind that curtain, it's just incredible. For that simple pickup to work, a huge, complicated supply chain connecting producers, wholesalers, and retailers has to operate flawlessly. Technology is what makes this entire network visible and efficient, tracking everything in real time so that product is exactly where it needs to be right when you want it.
And the same idea applies to really big purchases too, like a car. The goal is to create one seamless journey for the customer, from the moment you start researching online to the day you buy, all the way to getting personalized service reminders later on. Every interaction is tracked to make the whole experience feel consistent and smooth.
Now, it would be really easy to think this transition is simple or even inevitable, but it's not. This massive industry-wide transformation comes with some very significant challenges, real roadblocks that everyone is trying to figure out.
And what's interesting is that these problems are pretty much universal. Data security is a huge one, whether you're trying to protect sensitive health records or financial data. Integrating brand new tools with clunky, decades-old computer systems is a total nightmare for a lot of companies. The cost of all this new hardware and software can be a massive barrier for smaller players like a family farm or a local retailer. And maybe the biggest hurdle of all, just finding enough people with the right data skills, and then getting everyone else to actually adopt the new way of doing things.
So we've looked at the engine of this change and the hurdles in its way. So where does this all lead? What comes next?
Well, ultimately, what we're seeing is those layers we talked about are all starting to merge into one. Data is the foundation. AI provides the intelligence, and together they're creating a new reality where the digital and physical worlds are becoming completely intertwined, making everything around us smarter and more responsive.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As every single industry, from farming to finance, gets its own digital brain, what kind of future are we actually building? Is it going to be one that's hyper-efficient and wonderfully personal? Or will all this data and predictive power just make our lives a lot more predictable? It's definitely something to think about.